This is what the suite looks like right here. It's on pages 108 and 109 in your annual catalog. All right, so I don't know if you've taken the time to check it out, but it's beautiful. Okay. All right, thank you, Peggy. Thanks, everybody. Very, very sweet. Okay, so I'll tell you what drew me to the suite, okay? The paper. I made some more of these little note card bags for my open house. The paper is stunning. I just couldn't believe how beautiful it was. And so I had to make a lot of these. So you could call it a little paper purse or a note card purse. You could put a small gift inside. You can fit 4 cards in there with 4 envelopes. But I did it just to showcase the gorgeous designer paper. Here is 2 more sheets of designer paper. Aren't they beautiful? I just love the paper. And hey, Mary Kay, I'm so glad y'all love the bags. Now remember, not last week, but the week before. So what would the date be? 2 Wednesdays ago, we made one of these totes using the teacup paper, the teacup designer paper. So that video is out there. And you can even find those videos on my blog at becreativestamping.com. You can also find them if you're on my Facebook page, click videos, and you'll find all my video tutorials there, okay? I know the catalog doesn't. They're amazing. I just love the paper. I could not stop making them, okay? Because I just wanted everybody to see how beautiful this paper is. And you can make this bag. We made it 2 weeks ago during Facebook Live, okay? I know, Tina, I've already bought, I think I've bought 3 packages. So I'm on my 3rd package now of designer paper. But it's just super, super beautiful. So I wanted you to see those tote bags and just kind of showcase that paper for you. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you are some cards that I created for open house, and I'm going to zoom in. I am all crooked tonight. I don't know what's going on with the camera. Sometimes you put the camera on and I think it's just the weight of it. And I'm having a hard time. Sorry, I hope I'm not making anyone ill by moving that around. All right, so got some more cards to show you. And this one I had actually cased from a demonstrator. Let me see if I put her name on the card. I did not. This was one that I found on Demonstrator Planning Place. So this is not my design, okay? Oh, Peggy, I'm so glad you got your card. That is awesome. I sent it a little late, Peggy. I'm sorry. That's why you got it so late. All right, so here we go. Here's a card. Now you're going to notice, and I'll point this out. I haven't even shown you the stamp set because I'm just so excited about the cards. This large flower here, I actually used as a background on the cardstock. Okay, so that's just the flower stamped over and over. And then this banner is from Stylish Shapes, which is brand new. And here is that designer paper again. This is a Flirty Flamingo card base. Now this one's my design. This is a Granny Apple Green card base. And I used one of the tags from the tags dies. And here's the paper here. Again, it's that large flower that I use as a background stamp, okay? And these are super simple. Again, these were created to show off the designer paper. That was the main reason. I wanted the paper to be the focal point of the card. You all will recognize this scalloped rectangle because I use them constantly. It's called Scalloped Contour Dies. We're going to use them tonight, and I'll show you the entire die set. Now you're going to notice this beautiful font. It's a mixture of print and then cursive. And I just love, love, love the font. Here is another card. Again, I'm showcasing the designer paper. These are glossy dot embellishments, and they are part of the suite. You'll see those again tonight when we make our cards. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like the green one, Melissa. Check this out. Coastal Cabana and this paper. How beautiful is that? And again, I just tied a bow. This is the organdy glitter ribbon, which you can color with your blends. And I just popped that on there with a glue dot. Here is a tag. And then the glossy dot embellishments. Isn't that pretty? So the paper's doing all the work here, not me. All right, let me show you some more. Then there is another stamp set in the book. It is the second stamp set in the catalog, and it's called Sending Smiles. Again, I wanted to showcase the paper. I wanted that to be the focal point at open house, and then I used that stamp set. By the way, we will do this stamp set during Facebook Live. It's called Sending Smiles. It's awesome. So we will definitely be doing that. Here we are again. Sending comfort and strength. Isn't that pretty? I know. I love the Coastal Cabana, Lisa. Oh, here it comes again. Coastal Cabana. Isn't that awesome with this paper? There are so many cardstock colors that you can use with this paper. Here we are, Granny Apple Green. I just wanted to pull out all the different cardstock colors that go with the paper. And here's another one. Now, I will take pictures of these, all right, and post them in the next day or so. Okay, it might be Friday. This card base is Daffodil Delight. And now the last one here is Melon Mambo. All right, so that gives you an idea of the cards. Okay. Now, the first card that we're going to create tonight, and you know what? I haven't shown you the dies. I'm really jumping ahead of myself tonight. These are the dies. They're called Blooming Happiness dies. And you can see that they cut out 4 different flowers, 2 sets of leaves. Hey, Terry. And then you're going to see these smaller flowers with leaves. Then you're going to see this beautiful die, which we are going to use tonight. I'm going to hold it up to the camera. You're going to notice that some of these petals are not popped out. And that's because they don't pop out. You can lift them and give it more of a 3D effect. So I'm going to show you how to do that tonight. Then we have this edging right here. I'm going to turn it this way. When I turn it this way, doesn't it look like you've torn out a piece of paper from a notebook or a composition book? And then here is another border that comes with the Blooming Happiness dies. So if you all would like, I can take a picture of that and post that to my blog and Facebook page as well. But just wanted you to see what the dies can do. And it actually cuts out all the flowers that are a part of the stamp set. It cuts out all the leaves that are part of the stamp set. And these are your 3 extra pieces that coordinate with all of it. Okay. And then you're going to notice in Happiness Abounds, thanks for sharing, Becky. You're going to notice the words, sending many thanks for all you do. Congratulations. You are wonderful in every way. Wishing you all the happiness you can imagine. Friend, best wishes, and birthday. So it's a pretty cool stamp set. And you'll also notice that it's on the very front of your catalog. So I'm just going to pop this out. I just want you to see. Here's the card. This is the focal point of our annual catalog cover. Isn't that beautiful? And right here is that torn look. I love that. I haven't used that yet. Now the flowers on this card and the leaves are actually cut out with designer paper. So these dies will cut out the designer paper, flowers and leaves, and quite a few of them. So I was really impressed at the fact that you could cut out so many flowers and leaves with one sheet of designer paper and the dies. All right, so I'll move that out of the way, and now I'm going to show you tonight's cards that you have an opportunity to take home. And the first one is right here. I'm going to show you how to create this layout, and then we're going to do some coloring here. I'm going to use different colors though, okay, so you can get another idea of what the stamp set can do. Okay, so that's our first card. It's actually a super easy card. It's a great layout, and I will provide measurements on my blog when I post this. Okay, and I'll notify you on Facebook that everything's been posted. Now here is another card that I made, and you can see here. Thank you. I'm glad you like that design. It's really fun to make, Jeanne, and I think you're going to like it a lot. So now this card, ladies, opens up like this. And this is going to be our second card. So another fancy fold for you. And honestly, the paper's doing all the work for these cards. That's what makes the card so beautiful. And the Stampin Blends just kind of showcase those flowers and leaves. All right, so I think you're going to enjoy tonight's cards. And I'm going to show you one more card. We're actually going to make one in Melon Mambo. I want you to look at this card. It is the very same layout, okay? But this one has the die cut, and this one does not. And wait till you see how easy this is to cut, okay? Now, I want you to look at these flowers and leaves. Aren't they really, really pretty? I did not color them, and I did not stamp them. They are cut out from the designer paper, every single leaf and every single flower. And then what I did was I took some Wink of Stella. Where is Peggy? Because she loves Stella. I took Stella and I colored on, I used Stella to shimmer on the designer paper. And so you can do that as well. Isn't that pretty? I know the Melon Mambo is amazing. Yeah. All right. So I just wanted to show you minimal effort. This is the only stamping I did on the entire card. Let's see if I stamped inside. No, but we're going to stamp inside tonight. So, all right. So just wanted you to see that. Hi, Sue. How are you tonight? Well, we're going to start with Melon Mambo tonight, so that this will give you two different card ideas, okay? Now, I'm going to start with this piece, and for those of you who are demonstrators, hi, Joyce. When I create a card and it has lots of pieces cut for my, my ladies, if I put an X on it, it means it's scrap paper. That means they're going to stamp on it and they're going to cut something out, or they're going to punch something out, okay? So that tells them, hey, this is not going on the card because it's got a big X on it, okay? So we're going to use this and we're going to get our stamping done first, okay, since I pulled this out first. And we're going to use the large flower, and we're going to stamp with black Memento ink tonight. All right, so I'm just inking this up, and then I'm going to stamp right here. Now I don't have my stamping pad over here, and this is a photopolymer stamp, so we'll see how well I do. There we go. I missed a little piece right there, but I'm going to color, and so I'm not going to worry about that. It's going to be fine. And I'm going to use this leaf right here. So you'll get to see me cut out both of those tonight. I'm glad you like the card, Sue. Thank you so much. And here is another leaf right here. Now I could certainly add more leaves at this point, and I gave my ladies that option when they were in class, okay? So that's going to be cut out with dies. I'm just going to move it aside because there's something else that we need to do with the dies, okay? Now this piece right here is going to become this piece, okay? This piece right here is going to be this and this. So let's measure it so that you'll know what size basic white paper you need, okay? All right, here we go. We've got 5 inches, okay? 5 inches. And we have 3 inches. So this is 5 by 3 inches, okay? Now, before we use the die to cut out that intricate, detailed look, we are going to want to stamp. And I am going to use congratulations because this could honestly be a wedding card. All right. And it's funny because a lot of my ladies have weddings coming up, and that's what they wanted to do with their card. They wanted to put congratulations on it and a verse inside. So before the die cutting, I'm going to take the congratulations, excuse me, and I'm going to stamp at the bottom. Okay? Just like that. All right. And then I'm going to get the dies out so I can show you. This is the leaf we're going to need. We're going to need this for the large flower. We're going to need this one for the leaves. And this piece right here is that intricate die that I've been talking about. Okay. So now you're going to see why it's so important that you have words here, is because you've got to position that die so that it doesn't interfere with your sentiment. Thank you, Cheryl. All right, so that's how we're going to cut this, okay? All right, and then we'll be cutting these. We're going to do some coloring, and then we're going to assemble the card, okay? So let me get our Stampin' Cut emboss machine, and I'm going to bring it over here. All right, and I am going to use the magnetic platform tonight. And I want to share something with you. There was an update this week on our new magnetic platform, and I didn't bring my magnetic platform over here. So let me get it. I'm going to let you look at that card, and I'm going to grab the platform. Okay, and it just so happens that this one is brand spanking new. All right, so hang tight. We're going to pull it out. All righty. Now, I want to point out something regarding the directions, okay? The sandwich, and I know we're now looking sideways. Let's look this way. The sandwich for this cutting is incorrect, okay? So you need to know that. And what you're going to need is, and I'll just mark it on here. I hadn't planned to do this, but this works well. You do need number 1 because number 1 is your platform, okay? See that number 1 right there? Top right corner, right there. That's your number 1, okay? Then you're going to need, we're going to get rid of 2, all right? No 2. And we're going to add 5. So here is 5, the new magnetic cutting plate. It is heavy. The back has a heavy metal sheet, so it does not warp, okay, or buckle. So this is next. It's number 1, and it's number 5. And then we're going to use a number 3. All right? So that is all you should have. 1, 5, the paper, the die, and number 3. Okay? So keep that in mind. All right. Now we're ready. And so I'm going to add this here. And I'm going to position that die so it does not interfere with my greeting. And I'm just wondering, I'm going to slide this over. And we might cut everything at one time. Okay? So you can get a really good idea of what this does. I know many of you probably already have it. This is the flower, and what I usually end up doing is just turning the die until I find it in the correct place. And sometimes I am spot on, and other times it takes me a little bit of time. And I'm sure there's a trick out there where you mark your stamp and you mark your die, but I have not done that yet. So we'll get there in just a second. There we go. So see, it doesn't take too long. All right. So now I have that piece. I love it because it's not jumping around. Then I have this piece. Okay. So that is going to stay put. And then I have this piece right there. And so now I'm ready for 3. So I'm going to add that, and then we are going to roll it through. All right. So we got lots rolling through here, and I'm on a folding table, so y'all know that the camera is shaking a bit. All right. There we go. So we're going to look at the back of this. Wow, that cut out beautifully, didn't it? Just lovely. Okay, we'll talk about that again in a minute. I'm just going to grab my leaves here and my dies so I don't lose them. And then I can move this out of the way. Okay, now I found it easiest because, again, not all of these paper pieces are going to come out, okay? They're not supposed to, all right? So let me get this out. All right, I have found it easiest to, it keeps rolling, I have found it easiest to pop the pieces out from the back. Okay, this is the back of the paper, and not only that, but then you can lift up the little pieces that are not coming out. Okay, now having said that, our card tonight, we've got to use our paper trimmer, and so before I pop up those pieces, I'm going to trim this. Okay. All right, so here's the paper trimmer, and now I am going to put, all right, somehow I got my, my paper dirty. All right, so what I'm gonna do is there are no measurements for this, okay? There really are not. What I'm doing is I am actually just going to cut on a diagonal. Let's look at the card again. And we'll look at the one that doesn't have the detail on it. I just cut that piece at a diagonal, that white piece, okay? Louise, it did mark the magnetic platform, okay? So that is an excellent question for the machine. It will mark your platform. You can't get, you know, by that. And so, so anyway, that's just, you know, the nature of it, okay? And Becky, this is an amazing time to sign up for Stampin' Up! Right now. They are 4 free additional gifts, and I'd love to talk to you about it if you would like to chat about it, okay? Just send me a message. All right, here we go. As you can see, this is where my blade is, or where it's going to go in the groove. All I've done is lay the paper on a diagonal. Now, if you're using your paper cutter like I am, you're gonna want a really deep score line, okay? So I am going to very deeply get a nice score line in here because the blade is going to catch on those little holes, okay? And I'm going to zoom in a little more. Here we go. All right, so that's the scoring tool. And now I'm going to use my cutting tool. All right, so this is my cutting blade. Very slowly, I am going to trim. All right, because it wants to catch on those little holes. All right, so be sure that you gently score and that you gently use that cutting blade so it doesn't tear your basic white paper. So here it is. That's all I did. There's absolutely no measuring. All right, isn't that cool? All right. So we've taken care of that. And now we can get the rest of our card together here. This is our card base. It's 5.5 by 8.5 inches. And it is scored on this 8.5 inch side at 4 1/4. All right. And we're going to use our bone folder here and get that nice and flat. All right, and then we're going to add some melon mambo. All right, hi Debbie. Let's measure the melon mambo. It's going to measure 5 1/8. All right, 5 1/8, and then it's going to be 4 inches. All right, so 5 1/8 by 4 inches. And we are going to tape this. All right. And we want to be sure that we put it on the card base the correct way. We're going to center it. All right. And that should take care of that. Again, melon mambo and a basic white card base. Now, when you go to add your designer paper, let's measure this one as well. It's going to be 5 inches, okay? And then the width is 2 inches. Now you're gonna lay it here on your cardstock, and you want to be sure and check this out. We've got an allowance here and we want it there, okay? We want to see 1/8 of an inch on both sides. Now, before we tape it down, we're going to make sure that when we add this, it's going to cover up the middle with designer paper. I'm just making sure that I've got the designer paper in the right place. And then we're going to add this here. And so if I do it like that, if I tape the designer paper strip in the middle, I'm going to be fine. Sometimes you have to adjust your designer paper. You might have to move it up or you might have to move it down, all right? And you can certainly make your designer paper wider if you want. But I was trying to conserve my paper and only have designer paper that I needed, and I wouldn't have any waste. So that's probably about the middle there. And then I'm going to tape that. And now we're going to pop this up. And I know you're shocked, just shocked that I'm going to do this. But I think it has a really cool effect when you pop up this top layer. I think you're going to like it. Even if you don't like using dimensionals, right? I think you're going to like it. All right. And now we'll take this off. As you can see, I'm getting very happy with the dimensionals. I'm so glad you like the design. I didn't come up with it myself, but it's a design that I saw about a year ago. And so I've been dying to try it. So I thought this would be a great card to do that with. I'm going to add this now. And we're going to have about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So see that 1/8 of an inch? And the designer paper is in line with that as well. All right, so now, and you know what I did forget? Hi, Mary Jo, good to have you. I did forget to pop up these little pieces. So when you make your card, do this before you attach it to your card base. All right, and if you do this, and I'll show you how they pop up. They look great even if you don't pop up these little pieces. So you know what? If you have it attached already, don't sweat it. Don't sweat the small stuff, okay? And now you can see it with all the little pieces raised, all right? So let's add some more dimensionals. You can't have enough of those, right? All right. Okay. And now we'll peel these off. All right, almost there. And now we're going to add this at the very top. And again, we want about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And I think I can go over a little bit, so let me try that. I'm going to turn it around, and it'll be easier for me to see since I'm not standing up. So I think about right there. All right, now I've got something right here. I don't know if it's dirt or adhesive. Oh, it was adhesive. So I am using this little adhesive square, and there you go. I was able to get that off, so I'm really happy about that. All right, so that's our card. We're gonna add flowers, don't panic. And here's the one without that intricate detail. So you'll have to tell me which one you like. I mean, I actually like them both. So let me know what you like better. Do you like the intricate detail or do you like it plain? You can go either way. Hi, Diane. How are you? Okay, let me find those flowers that we cut. And for this flower, I am actually going to do a pink one, and I need to grab my pink. You know what? I'm going to change up. I am going to grab daffodil. Hang on one second. One of my ladies, and I can't remember who it was right now. I think it was in my Saturday class. They colored their flower yellow, and it was gorgeous with this. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to use my dark daffodil, and I'm just going to go around. Now, I'm going to color pretty fast, okay, since y'all are just watching. I don't want you to get bored, so I'm probably going to do some coloring pretty fast here, okay? Normally, I would take a little more time, but we do have another card, and I do have a meeting at 9 tonight, so all right. So I'm just adding the dark, then I'm going to color in the light, and I'm going to blend them. Okay, I'm just going to do it like that, do a little outline. We're going to blend anyway, so don't panic, okay? All right. Yeah, I don't think I'll go wrong either way with the color. I mean, I could even do a gorgeous grape. I could even do some pool party for the flower. We're going to use Granny Apple Green for the leaves. This is my center. I'm going to do that in dark. And I can zoom in a little more. There we go. And now I'm going to add this. Okay, and that's all with the dark, okay? That's who it was. Thank you, Margaret. I could not remember, but it was just, I had, you know, it was the first one I had seen in the yellow, and I loved it. All right, so now I'm just coloring in here. going to start blending in. Again, I'm not taking too much time tonight to do that. But as you can see, there we go. And some people will even do this, and Joyce did this on Saturday. I do remember that. She took the blend and she colored that white part around the flower so it wouldn't stick out, which is always a really cool thing to do. All right, so there you go. So that's our flower. And when we put it here, we are going to have to pop it up because we've got this little, I don't know what to call it, a ditch, a gully, you know. So anyway, I don't know the right term for that, but there's some space in there. So we are going to pop that up in the center. And then we can add our flower here. What do you think, Lisa? Am I doing a good job? Okay, now let's do our leaves. Those are going to be the last two things that we do. And they're right here. We're going to use Granny Apple Green. I'm going to take the dark. And I'm just going to outline. Now, some people will start with their lighter color and then add the dark. So you can do it either way. You have to experiment and see what you like and what you prefer, okay? Yeah, the daffodil really is a pretty color. All right, so now that's done. Thank you, Pam. I could not think of that. It is a valley. And you know what's really funny? Our older daughter, our oldest daughter, her first name is Valley. So how about that? I should know that. I should have thought of that. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm coloring and y'all can't even see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm just kind of filling that in. I'm gonna do the same with this one. All right. Such a pretty color, the Granny Apple Green. Now, if you don't have Granny Apple Green, go with Old Olive. That is a staple, so that's a good one. All right. And then we're just going to add these with glue dots. If I can pick it up. Again, I could actually color those white edges if I wanted. And now we just need to decide where we want to put them. And I think I'll just put it there. And I'm going to add one more glue dot to this. Oops. And we'll put that one there. Okay, and let me zoom out and we'll put a little wink of Stella on the card, okay? What do you think? So there it is with the yellow flower. Oh, you know what else we're gonna do? We've gotta add our glossy dots. So let's do that. These are the glossy dots that are part of the suite. So if you don't have these, you might want them. I'm gonna use one of these big ones, if I can push it off here and put that right in the center. All right, let me zoom out some more. And I actually want to add some more. Now, with the glossy dots, you're getting 3 sizes, all right? So keep that in mind. Let's see. I'm going to put them down here. How about that? There we go. All right, and this is where you add Stella and make it pretty. All right, so let's see if I can find, yeah, Stella's here. I thought I left her over here. All right, so I'll just do that real quick. And it doesn't take very long. I always do this last because it does take a few minutes for it to dry, and it can dry right on the card. I'm just adding some extra, and let's see if it's showing up. Let's see if I can get the camera to see it. I don't know that I can. It doesn't always show up in the camera, but I think it's there. I think I could add even more if I wanted. All right, so that's our first card right there. Here is the original. If you want to grab a quick screenshot of that, feel free to. I'm going to take a sip of water here. Sometimes, Louise, this is a great question. Louise says, does the marker color transfer to the sink, to the Wink of Stella? Sometimes it does. Sometimes when you go to color, you're going to pick up some of that color. So be sure your brush is clean before you color in another color, okay? Hello, Gail. It's so good to have you. I hope you're feeling better. All right. All right, so there we are. And then, of course, here's this one where it doesn't even have the intricate design. Hi, Deborah. All right, I know the purple's really pretty. We're going to do a pool party one next, okay? So you're going to get to see pool party. All right, so this is going to be for someone tonight. We're going to draw names. All right, so hang around to the end to see if you win. And I'm going to put these two aside. Diane, this one should be on your list. Honestly, it is awesome. And it's coming from someone who does not need another flower set. Okay? All right. So our next card is going to open like this. This is a really easy fold. Okay? So I'm actually going to cut this piece of paper with you so that I can show you. Okay? All right. Now, I am going to score my cardstock so that when you cut it, you will have 2 of these cards. Okay? You'll have 2 of them. All right, I just need to move some things out of the way. I have way too much stuff hanging around here. All right, so our first measurement, and I need to measure this, is going to be 2 3/4. So we're gonna head on over here to 2 3/4. I'll zoom in. There we go. And I'm gonna score. Okay, make sure I have my score line there. The next one is going to be 5. I think it's 5.5. Let me check. It should be. Yep, 5.5. Okay, so that's how you cut your cardstock on the 11-inch side. 2 3/4 and 5.5 inches. Okay. All right, now we're going to trim it. Now we're on the 8.5-inch side. So we're going to cut it at 4 1/4. And when I do that, I get 2 of these cards, okay? So you can make more than one. It'll already be scored for you. Okay, Arlene, thanks so much. All right, thanks for stopping by. All righty. So now that we've done that, we're going to fold it in half. And then we're going to bring this piece back. All right, just like that. Okay, so it's folded in half. And then we took that last score line, which is at 2 3/4, and we folded it back like this, okay? So by the way, I'm not making the same card, so you're going to get another design. Here's this card and this designer paper, and we're gonna use different designer paper, so it'll be kind of cool. All right, let me see here. And I'm gonna change up something too, if I can find my paper. Hang on. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is add our designer paper inside of the card, okay? And let me measure this for you. It's going to be 5¼ inches by 4 inches, all right? And we're just, look at the back of this, isn't that cool? So we're just gonna add some snail here, or seal, it's not snail anymore, is it? And then we're gonna add this here, and we're just going to center it, okay? All right. Now, the next piece is going to be in Pool Party, all right? And I could have done Coastal Cabana, and this is 4¼ inches. Hi, Jeannie. And this is 3 inches. Good to have you. All right, and we're gonna tape this inside. We're actually gonna be centering this. Whoops. We're just gonna center this right in the middle, okay? Just like that. And did I get it that? I'm a little crooked. Let me see if I can lift this up without doing too much damage. I'll try this again. I like to stand up and stamp, and when I sit down, things just, they get crooked sometimes. They get crooked when I stand up too, believe me. Okay. All right, let's try this again and see if I can do any better. Hopefully I can. All right. Okay, so now we're going to take these 2 pieces right here. This is designer paper, okay? And these are 2 pieces that are the very same size. And it's going to be 4 inches by 2½ inches. And you need 2 of those. And you can even use the flower side if you want. And I'm going to put this one here. And you just center it on the panel. That's all you have to do. Okay. And then we're going to center the other one. And maybe I'll turn it this way. You can turn it in either direction. The paper works really well for that. All right, and now we're gonna close it. So that's what we have so far, okay? Now, we're going to actually add our verse, and I am using the scalloped contour dies, okay? So let me show you where they are. They were new last year in the annual catalog, and you're gonna find it right here, and it is this one, okay? So that's where you're gonna find it. This has become a staple. I use this for everything. All right. The words we're gonna use say, wishing you all the happiness you can imagine. And this is what I meant to stamp inside the other card and did not. So if you wanna do that, let's see now what color ink. I'm gonna go with Gorgeous Grape ink for this. And I guess I need to stamp it up a little bit so you can actually add a greeting, okay? And then I'm going to center it here. All right, so it's right inside. Okay, just like that. Hey, Laura, welcome. Never too late, Laura, never too late. Okay, so now we're ready to do the front. And I've taken another one of those scalloped rectangles, same die set, okay? And here it is right here, okay? So I am doing something a little different. In this original card, I cut a rectangle, then I cut a basic white rectangle, and then use the die, okay? Yes, it's Happiness Abounds, absolutely. All right, so instead of doing that, I'm gonna do this. So that's gonna give you another alternative, okay? Now, again, this is where you wanna take a few minutes and pop out pieces that pop out. And then this is where you just pop the pieces that are going to be more 3D, all right? So I'm gonna pop out some of the hearts here. These are little hearts. Yeah, it is a fun fold, and it's an easy one. It's super easy, just 2 score lines, make 2 cards out of it. So while you're making one, make another one. Make one first, see how you like it, and then make the other one. All right, so I'm just making a mess here. Usually you should do this over a trash can, okay? But now you can see if I took more time, and I would, you know, if we didn't have time constraints with a live, I would take the time and just poke those little pieces out, all right, so that they will stand up, okay? Hi, Marjorie, so glad you're here. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull all this paper out of the way and put it in my little trash can, okay? So I can get rid of that. And then now I'm going to be ready to add this piece. And we're just adding one side. And I'm gonna put the seal here. I have to put it where there aren't any holes. All right, I think that'll do it. So I've put the seal along this edge. I'm going to close the card. And then what happens is when I close it, I'm gonna cover up the inside. Did you see how I covered up the pool party rectangle? So that's what you're gonna do. Now, it looks like I could have done some more taping. So I think what I'll do is I'm just gonna add some glue here, just a little bit, because it's hard to get that tape in there, and then hold that a few minutes, and that will hold it. Okay. So isn't that cool how you're covering up the inside? All right. So at this point, this is the fun part. And I think you'll like the coloring on this. We're going to bring in our Stampin Blends again. And I'm going to try something. I'm bringing in this adhesive mat. Hang on, need to lift that up. And I'm gonna see if this helps you all see better. All right. Okay, so we know that these are going to be granny apple green. And we're gonna be coloring the flowers now different colors, okay? The leaves are the same as they were in the very first project. And we're gonna color the flowers different colors. All right, again, this is my dark marker. And I'm doing it kind of quickly because of our time restraints here. And I hope you don't get bored. Hey, Carol. All right, now I can color that in like that. All right. Now the next, the flower color, we are going to do Pool Party. Wait till you see Pool Party on these flowers. It's really pretty. So, oh good, Joyce. I'm glad you like the fun fold. We almost did this for Hostess Club, almost. but I had to cut a lot of designer paper, and then you have to figure out which pieces you like best, and it can be kind of time consuming if you're cutting, you know, 30 cards. It gets time consuming when you're doing that. All right, so leaves are done. Now we're going over here with the large flower, and we're going to use Pool Party. Are you ready to see this flower? All right. This is my dark marker. I'm actually using my brush tip. That might even be a little bit faster. We'll see. Just trying to go over some of these. And no, I don't normally cut this fast. I mean, color, excuse me. I don't normally color this fast. Sometimes I can cut this fast. And just doing the outlines. Just like that. And while I'm thinking about it, let's do, where is my dark daffodil? Right here. I'm gonna go ahead and do the center of my daffodil. This is the dark daffodil, by the way. And now I'm going to bring in my light Pool Party. Oops, I just brought in dark again, but that's okay. We'll make it work. This is light. Getting around that little area there. If y'all have any questions, please let me know. And sometimes you can let it dry and just see how it turns out, and then add more color if you want to. Okay, so that is our Pool Party flower. You'll see soon what it's going to look like once we've done them all. Now this one I'm going to do in Fresh Freesia. All right, so another new color here for us to try. It came out last year with the in colors, but what I really mean is it's new for us tonight. All right, and this is Fresh Freesia, and it's the dark. You know, on the next one, we'll do light first, all right, and see how that turns out. Okay. And I'm going to bring back in the daffodil while I'm here. Put that in the center. I hope y'all can see pretty good. And now I want light freesia. I'm going to try my brush tip and see how that does. Sometimes I like the way the brush tip moves, and I think sometimes maybe it moves the ink better. Just a thought, not sure. All right. Now, I didn't cut these flowers out with you. I actually stamped them ahead of time using the black Memento ink, okay? But they cut the same. It is a very simple die. It is easy to cut. All right, so that's our flower in Fresh Freesia. Hi, Simone. Good to have you. Hello, hello. So nice to have all of you here. Thank you for joining me. Now, this is going to be our very last one. This one's going to be in Highland Heather. So here's another option for you. So hopefully you are making a list. By the way, oh, this is dark. I wanted to start light first. So hang on, let me try something. Let's do light. We're gonna do light first. That's also dark. Hang on. I have two dark Highland Heathers. Let me see if I can find a light one. Okay, here's a light. I didn't realize that I had two darks. Okay, sometimes I have extra markers, you know, because of class. Okay, so here's the light. I'm going to be using the brush tip. In a minute, I'm going to show you the difference in color between this one and the Fresh Freesia, okay? So I'm coloring it with the light, and then I'm going to go back and add some dark and see what happens. Just try it out. All right, so that's done. And now I'm going to go back. I'm going to add some dark and see how that looks. And then we're going to assemble our card. And thank you for being so patient as I do this coloring. All right. There we go. So let me show you the difference between Fresh Freesia. This is Fresh Freesia. This is Highland Heather. So there really is a difference in the color. Okay, we're ready to assemble. And hang on real tight here. Let's go ahead. We're going to start with the largest flower because that'll probably be our focal point. And we are going to pop this up. If I can find my dimensionals. All right. Now, you don't have to pop this up, okay? Your choice, your card, and it's your choice, and it's what works for you. But here I am putting that pool party right there in the center. Now the next one that I'm going to add is going to be the Highland Heather flower. Okay? Thanks for sharing, Simone. And then I'm going to add that right there. About right there. Okay? And our last one is going to be the Fresh Freesia. And we're going to tuck that right there. Okay? Now we're ready to tuck in the leaves, and I am going to either use a standard dimensional or I'm going to use a mini for these leaves. And let's see. Why don't we put one here? I always do the leaves last, just kind of, the leaves are like the fillers, you know, they're just kind of filling in the different places. And we could put one here if we want. They can go anywhere. There are no hard or fast rules for these, okay? And then we can add this one right in here. Okay, so let's add some dimensionals, and we'll do dimensionals, and then you can also have the option of Wink of Stella. All right, I am going to use, let me show you these glossy dots. I have found with the glossy dots that I think I like my scissors best to pull them off. Okay, there we go. So there's that one, and let's add a purple one, and we'll put that one about right there. And I think I'm going to add another purple one. And maybe I'll put that one there. Okay. So here's our card. This is where you could put a yellow one in the center. And this is where you would do your Wink of Stella. Okay. So before I send this card out to whoever wins it, I'll be sure to do the Wink of Stella. All right. You all saw me do that on the last card.